The spotlight of the global entertainment industry has shifted once again, and this time, the focus is impossible to ignore. Amid the relentless pace of award season, red carpet scrutiny, and the mounting pressure of Hollywood's highest expectations, one name continues to surface as a powerful emotional constant: Kylie Jenner. Not for her billion-dollar empire or the legacy of the Kardashian-Jenner dynasty, but for her increasingly visible role as the strongest support system behind Timothée Chalamet. What the public is witnessing now is no longer speculation or fleeting chemistry, it is a pattern of presence, consistency, and quiet strength that speaks louder than any official statement. From the very first moments their relationship entered public conversation, curiosity surrounded them. Yet the narrative has evolved. The question is no longer whether they are together, but how deeply Kylie Jenner has become embedded in one of the most critical phases of Timothée Chalamet's career. As his professional trajectory continues to rise, so does the awareness of the person standing closest to him when the cameras are not rolling. Before diving further, there is a detail that many fans and industry observers have begun to notice. Timothée Chalamet appears different, more grounded, more centered, and visibly confident. His recent public appearances show a calm intensity, a composed demeanor that contrasts with the restless energy often associated with meteoric fame. Insiders suggest this shift is not coincidental. Behind that calm is a steady presence offering emotional balance, and that presence is Kylie Jenner. Throughout recent high-profile events, Kylie has been seen accompanying Timothee with a consistency that feels intentional rather than performative. She does not dominate attention. She does not redirect focus. Instead, she occupies a supportive space, allowing Timothee to remain at the center while quietly reinforcing his stability. In an industry where relationships are often framed as publicity tools, this dynamic feels notably different. Sources close to the situation describe Kylie Jenner as a grounding force during an especially demanding period for Timothée Chalamet. Between intense filming schedules, global press tours, and the constant evaluation of his artistic choices, the pressure is immense. Kylie is said to provide a sense of normalcy, someone who understands public scrutiny at the highest level, yet knows how to separate external noise from personal reality. As the narrative unfolds, subtle moments begin to stand out. A brief smile exchanged during a crowded event. A quiet moment of reassurance caught by a zoomed-in lens. A natural ease that cannot be scripted. These are not grand gestures designed for headlines. They are small, authentic signals that resonate precisely because they are understated. Midway through this evolving story, public curiosity deepens. Observers are now asking how this relationship influences Timothée Chalamet's creative decisions. Known for his careful project selection, Timothee has recently taken on roles that demand emotional depth, vulnerability, and significant risk. Industry analysts note a possible connection between his personal stability and his growing artistic boldness. Kylie Jenner, widely recognized for her sharp business instincts and emotional resilience, is reportedly someone Timothee trusts deeply when navigating major decisions. Not as an advisor by title, but as a partner capable of offering perspective without pressure. In an environment filled with opinions, strategies, and expectations, having a single voice grounded in personal care is invaluable. Behind closed doors, sources suggest Kylie is often one of the first people to see or hear about Timothee's work before it reaches the public. Her feedback is described as honest, thoughtful, and free from industry agendas. That level of sincerity is rare, especially in circles where praise is often calculated. It is this authenticity that many believe strengthens their bond. The story reaches an emotional peak during one of the most closely watched moments of the season. As Timothée Chalamet receives recognition for his work on a global stage, cameras capture Kylie Jenner's reaction in the audience. There is no exaggerated applause, no performative display. Instead, there is a quiet pride, a restrained smile, and eyes that reflect genuine emotion. For many viewers, the single moment crystallizes everything that has been building beneath the surface. It becomes clear that Kylie Jenner's role extends far beyond public appearances. She is present not only for celebrations, but also for the unseen hours, the uncertainty, the self-doubt, the exhaustion that accompanies ambition at the highest level. In those moments, support matters more than spotlight. What emerges now is a portrait of chemistry that feels organic rather than manufactured. Two individuals from vastly different worlds finding equilibrium together. Timothée Chalamet, defined by introspection and artistic sensitivity. Kylie Jenner, shaped by early exposure to fame and relentless public judgment. Together, they form a dynamic that feels unexpectedly complementary. As the story continues to develop, one question lingers: will this partnership grow stronger as both careers reach new heights? There is no definitive answer, and perhaps there does not need to be one. What is evident is that, in this moment, Kylie Jenner has established herself as Timothée Chalamet's most significant emotional anchor. And as audiences continue to watch every move, one truth becomes increasingly clear. Behind major achievements, there is often a support system operating quietly in the background. In this case, that support system has a name, a presence, and a chemistry that can no longer be denied. If this story reshapes the way you see celebrity relationships and the unseen dynamics behind success, stay connected. Share your perspective, follow the developments, and remain with us as we continue to uncover stories that go beyond headlines, stories driven not just by fame, but by meaning. As the conversation around their relationship continues to evolve, industry insiders are beginning to frame Kylie Jenner's presence not as a temporary chapter, but as a defining element of Timothée Chalamet's current era. In Hollywood, where careers are often shaped as much by personal resilience as by talent, the idea of a strong, consistent support system carries significant weight. And increasingly, Kylie's role is being discussed in those exact terms. Observers note that Timothy's recent interviews reflect a subtle but meaningful shift in tone. He appears more reflective, less defensive, and noticeably comfortable with vulnerability. Questions that once prompted guarded responses are now met with thoughtful pauses and measured honesty. While he remains private, the emotional steadiness behind his words suggests an internal grounding that was not always as visible before. Many close to the actor believe this emotional clarity stems from a sense of security in his personal life. Kylie Jenner, having grown up under constant media scrutiny, understands the psychological toll of public life in a way few others can. From a young age, she learned how narratives are created, distorted, and amplified. That experience has reportedly made her exceptionally attuned to the pressures Timothee faces now at the peak of his artistic ascent. Rather than offering surface-level reassurance, she is said to help him contextualize criticism, separate identity from performance, and preserve a sense of self beyond public opinion. This dynamic becomes even more compelling when viewed against the backdrop of Timothée Chalamet's professional momentum. With each new project, expectations rise exponentially. He is no longer just a promising talent, but a benchmark against which a new generation of actors is measured. That level of attention can be isolating. Yet, those around him describe a man who appears increasingly balanced, focused without being consumed, ambitious without being detached. At private industry gatherings, Kylie is often described as observant rather than intrusive. She listens more than she speaks, absorbing the energy of the room while remaining firmly aligned with Timothy's emotional state. This ability to adapt without losing herself is frequently cited as one of her greatest strengths, both as a businesswoman and as a partner. It allows her to support without overshadowing, to be present without controlling. As the story unfolds, there is a noticeable pattern in how the public responds to their appearances together. Initial skepticism has gradually given way to curiosity, then acceptance, and now, a form of quiet respect. Fans who once questioned the pairing now analyze their body language, their timing, and their consistency. What they see is not chaos or contradiction, but rhythm, a shared understanding that does not require constant validation. In moments when the tempo admitted slows, the contrast becomes even more striking. Away from flashing cameras, reports suggest the couple prioritizes normalcy whenever possible. Simple routines, private dinners, time away from industry noise. These moments, though unremarkable on the surface, are often what sustain high-functioning individuals under relentless pressure. For Timothee, this balance appears increasingly essential. There is also growing recognition that Kylie's influence is not limited to emotional support alone. Her understanding of branding, perception, and long-term positioning provides Timothee with a rare perspective, one that bridges art and strategy without reducing creativity to commerce. While she does not shape his artistic choices, she is believed to offer insight into how narratives evolve in the public eye, allowing him to remain intentional without becoming reactive. The payoff of this partnership becomes evident not in grand announcements, but in cumulative impact. Timothee's career choices reflect confidence rather than urgency. His public demeanor signals control rather than exhaustion. And Kylie's continued presence reinforces the idea that stability, even in Hollywood, is possible when rooted in mutual respect. As award season progresses and new projects are announced, attention will inevitably intensify. Every glance, every shared moment will be dissected, analyzed, and framed. Yet, what remains most compelling is what cannot be staged, the quiet continuity of a relationship that appears to grow stronger under pressure rather than fracture beneath it. Ultimately, this story is less about celebrity romance and more about alignment. Two individuals navigating fame from different vantage points, finding common ground in trust, patience, and shared understanding. In an industry driven by momentum and spectacle, that kind of chemistry is rare, and once recognized, difficult to ignore. As audiences continue to follow Timothée Chalamet's ascent and Kylie Jenner's evolving public role, one truth resonates clearly. Success, at its highest level, is rarely a solo journey. Behind the accolades, the applause, and the headlines, there is often someone providing strength when it matters most. And for now, that someone stands firmly beside Timothée Chalamet, not in front of the spotlight, but exactly where a true support system belongs. The deeper this narrative stretches, the clearer it becomes that what the public is witnessing is not a fleeting chapter, but a sustained evolution. In recent months, Timothée Chalamet's inner circle has reportedly tightened, with fewer voices allowed to influence his mental and emotional space. Within that circle, Kylie Jenner's position appears firmly established. Not as a gatekeeper, but as a constant, someone whose presence does not fluctuate with success or criticism. Industry veterans often speak about the danger zone that follows rapid acclaim. It is the moment when expectations outpace reflection, when external validation threatens to drown out internal purpose. Timothee, now standing at that precise crossroads, seems unusually composed. Observers note that he navigates praise with restraint and criticism with perspective, a balance that is rarely achieved without a strong personal foundation. Kylie's understanding of fame is not theoretical. She has lived it at an intensity few can comprehend, with every stage of her growth documented, judged, and monetized. That lived experience reportedly allows her to recognize warning signs before they escalate: burnout, emotional withdrawal, or the subtle erosion of self-trust. Those close to the couple suggest that her greatest contribution is not advice, but awareness. As timelines shift and new projects dominate headlines, there is a noticeable absence of chaos in Timothee's public narrative. Unlike many of his peers, he does not appear rushed to capitalize on momentum at the expense of longevity. Decisions seem measured, deliberate, and aligned with a broader vision. Insiders believe this clarity is reinforced by private conversations that prioritize well-being over optics. During moments of uncertainty, when creative risks carry the possibility of backlash, Kylie is said to encourage patience rather than panic. Her own career trajectory, built through trial, reinvention, and resilience, serves as a quiet reference point. She understands that public opinion is fluid, that narratives shift, and that long-term credibility is built through consistency rather than reaction. This mutual understanding becomes especially visible when external pressure peaks. As award nominations, box office projections, and critical reviews dominate discourse, the emotional stakes intensify. Yet, those who encounter Timothee during these periods describe him as present, engaged, and surprisingly calm. There is no sense of emotional fragmentation, no visible struggle to hold competing identities together. Kylie's role during these times is often invisible, but deeply felt. She is described as someone who creates emotional shelter, space where vulnerability is allowed without consequence. In an industry that rewards performance even in private moments, that kind of safety is rare. It allows Timothee to recalibrate, to process, and to return to his work with renewed focus. Public perception, once driven by speculation, has begun to recalibrate. Media narratives increasingly emphasize partnership rather than surprise, stability rather than contrast. What once felt unexpected now feels inevitable. The consistency of their dynamic has reshaped assumptions, encouraging a more nuanced understanding of how relationships can function under extreme visibility. As the story continues, attention inevitably turns to the future. Upcoming films, potential collaborations, evolving public roles, each development adds another layer to the narrative. Yet, rather than overshadowing the relationship, these milestones appear to coexist with it. Growth does not seem to threaten balance. Instead, it reinforces it. There is also a broader cultural conversation unfolding beneath the surface. In an era where celebrity relationships are often framed as transactional or temporary, this partnership challenges prevailing cynicism. It suggests that emotional intelligence, mutual respect, and shared resilience can exist even at the highest levels of fame. For Timothée Chalamet, whose work often explores themes of identity, vulnerability, and transformation, this personal chapter mirrors his artistic journey. For Kylie Jenner, whose public evolution has been marked by reinvention and strength, this role represents a quieter form of influence, one rooted in presence rather than power. As audiences continue to analyze every detail, the most compelling aspects remain the ones that cannot be manufactured. The ease of shared silence. The unspoken understanding. The ability to stand beside someone without diminishing or redefining them. In the end, the story is not driven by spectacle, but by continuity. Not by grand declarations, but by sustained support. And as the narrative stretches forward, one conclusion becomes increasingly difficult to dispute. Chemistry, when rooted in trust and understanding, does more than attract attention. It stabilizes, strengthens, and sustains. And in this moment of extraordinary pressure and possibility, Kylie Jenner has emerged not just as a partner, but as the central support system anchoring Timothée Chalamet's rise. As the world watches what comes next, one thing is already clear. This is no longer a background story. It is an integral part of a larger journey, one where success is not navigated alone, and where the most powerful support often speaks in the quietest ways. As time goes on, the consistency of this dynamic continues to redefine how the public interprets Timothée Chalamet's trajectory. In an industry where personal lives often become collateral damage of professional ambition, his ability to maintain emotional equilibrium stands out. Those who have worked closely with him in recent productions describe an actor who arrives prepared, focused, and mentally present, qualities that are increasingly rare amid non-stop exposure and expectation. Behind that composure, many point again to the quiet influence of Kylie Jenner. Unlike traditional Hollywood partners who become absorbed into press cycles and promotional narratives, Kylie maintains a deliberate distance from performative visibility. She appears when it matters, withdraws when it does not, and in doing so reinforces a sense of control over what remains private. This boundary setting has reportedly helped Timothee protect his creative energy, allowing him to remain selective and intentional rather than reactive. In private conversations, insiders suggest Timothee often reflects on the importance of having someone who understands the long game. Kylie's own career has unfolded in phases of rapid growth, intense backlash, reinvention, and consolidation. That lived experience has given her a long-term lens, one that values sustainability over immediacy. When pressures mount, that perspective reportedly becomes invaluable. As public narratives shift, so too does the tone of media coverage. Early headlines framed their relationship as unexpected. Later ones questioned longevity. Now, the language has changed again, focusing instead on partnership, balance, and mutual grounding. This evolution mirrors what fans themselves have observed, a relationship that does not burn brightly and disappear, but instead settles into something steady and resilient. Moments of pattern interruption continue to emerge organically. A sudden cut to a candid exchange during a crowded event. A slowed-down shot capturing a shared laugh when attention briefly fades. These visual shifts keep audiences engaged not because they are dramatic, but because they feel unguarded. They hint at an authenticity that resists overexposure. As Timothee's professional commitments expand globally, the logistical and emotional demands only increase. Travel, separation, constant recalibration, these are pressures that strain even the strongest foundations. Yet reports suggest that communication between them remains consistent, grounded in routine rather than spectacle. It is not about grand gestures, but about continuity. Those close to Kylie note that her support style is deeply intuitive. She does not impose structure where it is not needed, nor does she withdraw when things become difficult. Instead, she adapts, sometimes offering perspective, sometimes offering silence. This flexibility allows Timothee to navigate different emotional states without feeling managed or constrained. In the broader context of celebrity culture, this relationship challenges familiar narratives. It does not rely on constant validation from public approval, nor does it fracture under criticism. Instead, it appears to exist alongside fame rather than within it. That distinction matters. It suggests a separation between public identity and personal reality that many struggle to achieve. As award season milestones give way to future announcements, anticipation continues to build. New roles, new creative risks, new chapters. Each development will inevitably bring renewed scrutiny. But if recent patterns hold, the response will likely remain measured rather than defensive, confident rather than reactive. For audiences consuming this story through screens and headlines, the appeal lies not just in celebrity fascination, but in relatability at scale. The idea that even at the highest levels of success, stability comes from being understood rather than applauded. From having one person who sees the whole picture, not just the highlight reel. As the narrative stretches further, one realization settles in. Kylie Jenner's role is not defined by proximity to fame, but by consistency through fluctuation. She is present in moments of triumph, but equally present in moments of doubt. That balance is what transforms chemistry into something lasting. And so, as this chapter continues to unfold, the story no longer asks whether their connection is real. That question has quietly faded. Instead, the focus shifts to how this partnership continues to shape the rhythm of Timothée Chalamet's life and career. In an environment driven by acceleration, they appear to have found steadiness. In a culture obsessed with spectacle, they offer restraint. And in a world that often mistakes visibility for value, their dynamic suggests something deeper, proof that the strongest support systems do not demand attention, yet leave the most lasting impact. As this unfolding story stretches further into the public consciousness, what becomes increasingly compelling is the absence of disruption. There is no dramatic shift, no sudden unraveling, no visible strain between personal life and professional ascent. Instead, there is continuity. For many observers, that continuity is the most telling signal of all. Timothée Chalamet's recent trajectory places him among a rare category of actors whose careers are no longer defined by potential, but by responsibility. Each role now carries symbolic weight, shaping not only his legacy but also the expectations of an industry eager to label its next-generation icons. Under such scrutiny, personal imbalance often manifests quickly. Yet, by most accounts, Timothee remains grounded, deliberate, and emotionally regulated. Those close to ongoing productions describe an actor who is deeply engaged but not consumed. He listens carefully, collaborates openly, and maintains clarity even under creative pressure. This emotional regulation, insiders suggest, does not happen in isolation. It is reinforced off-set, away from cameras, within a personal environment built on trust and psychological safety. Kylie Jenner's presence in that environment is frequently described as stabilizing rather than directive. She does not attempt to reshape Timothee's identity or influence his artistic voice. Instead, she is said to provide consistency, something rare in a world that thrives on constant reinvention. That consistency allows Timothee to experiment professionally without destabilizing personally. As public interest continues to grow, media framing has subtly shifted again. Coverage now often emphasizes timing. Why now? Why does this relationship appear during such a pivotal phase? Analysts suggest the answer lies not in coincidence, but in alignment. Both individuals have reached stages in their lives where external validation no longer defines success. What matters now is sustainability. Kylie's own evolution reflects this shift. Once framed almost exclusively through branding and visibility, her current public posture is more restrained, selective, and intentional. This mirrors Timothee's approach to fame, present but controlled, visible but not consumed. Their shared restraint creates a mutual understanding that reduces friction rather than amplifying it. Moments of silence between public appearances have become just as meaningful as moments of visibility. Long stretches without headlines are followed by brief, understated confirmations of togetherness. This rhythm resists the typical escalation cycle of celebrity narratives, suggesting a deliberate choice to protect what matters most. Behind the scenes, sources describe a relationship that prioritizes emotional check-ins over external milestones. Conversations reportedly focus on mental well-being, creative fatigue, and long-term balance. These discussions, while mundane by industry standards, are often what prevent burnout at elite levels of performance. As Timothee navigates increasingly complex roles, the emotional demands of his work intensify. Processing these experiences requires space to detach, reflect, and recover. Kylie is said to understand this need instinctively, offering presence without intrusion. Sometimes support is expressed through dialogue. Other times, through quiet companionship. Public fascination remains high, but the tone has softened. Speculation has given way to observation. Rather than projecting narratives onto the relationship, audiences are watching